What up, y'all? It's Robin the Heart, and I'm in Miami, Florida for Rolling Loud Weekend. And I have a special guest with me today. I have Splurge. How you doing?
Hey, I'm good. This is my first time being in Miami, actually.
Period?
Yeah.
Oh
so,
my
like,
goodness.
it's lit.
Wow.
Yeah.
So not only is it your
I've
first
been
time,
everywhere though. That's the
but
thing.
Miami.
Yeah,
That's
right.
crazy. I mean, I live here in Florida, and to be honest, I don't come to Miami too often. Not often
Right.
enough for someone who lives here.
Right.
But welcome. It's your first time in Miami, and it's
Right.
Rolling Loud Weekend,
I
so
know,
very
right?
overwhelming.
Yeah, very overwhelming. Like, I hope that everything happens for a total reason, and I'm here for a reason. So
I
I'm
would think
excited
so.
to see what Miami got for me.
I would think there's definitely a reason you're here. The stars aligned you to be here, so there has to be
what
a
I'm
reason,
saying.
right? So you're actually from the DMV, correct?
Yeah, I'm from Baltimore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just
Shout
a little
out to
different.
Baltimore. All my people's in Baltimore. Y'all already know who they are. I don't have to shout them out.
Yeah, we don't want to forget anybody, and some people be in the
Exactly.
feelings. So, okay, so Splurge, tell me about yourself. I know you're a producer.
Yeah, I'm like probably considered the top 10 producers like in the DMV. To
Wow.
Be honest.
How do you know? Like,
As far as my knowledge.
oh, okay. I'm like, is there some kind of Simon's profile
Nah,
we could look
there
at to
really
see?
isn't no profile for real. Because everybody's great in the DMV. It's kind of actually sad that like the industry don't really realize how many talented people are there.
Yeah.
Like myself, I sung in like the state choir, and like.
So you sing too?
No.
You don't sing, but you were in the choir.
Yeah.
Okay. You were that kid off key.
Yeah. No. Well, nah. But nah, I took what I learned from that and applied it to producing. For
And
real.
how's that?
And like, cause you have to have an ear,
Right.
You know, and like when you sing, normally you listen to other things.
Mm-hmm.
So by me just being like an active listener to like mad music, it kind of gave me an idea of like where the culture is and where the culture is going. So by that, I kind of developed my own sound,
Right.
and now I'm working with like people that's like out of mind.
Oh, very cool. Very
and
cool.
I'm working with more people like in the future.
Yeah,
I promise
definitely.
that. Like next year around this time, like
It's gonna be
not
crazy.
just the DMV and like Miami, LA, and New York, but like all states might know like who I am.
Like Utah.
Yeah, like Minneapolis and like other states.
I was just
like
saying
that.
something random, like Utah. Shout out to Utah.
Exactly. I don't know who it is.
I don't know either, but they're gonna know you, so it's
Nah,
okay.
That's serious though.
No, for real. You gotta have that mentality. Definitely, that's the way
Definitely.
it's gonna be.
Definitely the wave.
Yeah. So how long have you been producing?
Funny story, I've been making like beats since I was 10.
Okay.
Yeah, so I started like in my mom's room, and like my older brother, shout out to my older brother and my older brother's best friend who is here at
Rolling Loud?
Yep.
Yeah. Are you gonna link
So-
up?
Yeah, oh yeah,
Okay.
definitely. But yeah, shout out to December Moon. But yeah, I was trying to like, I was knocking on the door trying to get in there. I was like, bro, like I'm trying to make beats. Like I don't care if I'm 10. But they was like, nah, you can't do that. So I went in my mom's in my mom's room and just downloaded FL like 6. And then after that, like it kind of just like took over. Like,
So
I
this
started
is
making beats.
I'm ignorant to this. So that's a program that you can make beats on. Okay.
FL Gang, everybody know who they are. FL Gang, you feel me? Like 12 and under. It's really 11 and under. You're supposed to be. Like every FL after that is kind of like, yeah.
Not that cool.
It's
Okay.
alright. But yeah,
Okay.
shout out to FL Studio. That's definitely like a great platform to start on for real.
I just love the fact that you said when you were 10 you downloaded this program to begin with. I'm like, when I was 10, we didn't have any programs to download. So
Yeah, I was so determined because like I felt so rejected, and then like I guess I was like, they don't understand. Like I literally was born into music.
okay.
Like-
Is your family into music? Do you have any kind of background with that, or just you were just born like
Well,
with it?
yeah, I was just kind of like born like that.
Okay.
Like my uncle, I mean not my uncle, my grandfather, like he was very much into music.
Okay.
I didn't meet him though, like he
Okay.
died before I really like,
Yeah.
you know, like retain knowledge.
But it's in the blood.
Memory. But yeah, like I guess that's what my mom says. Like she just says like, yeah, like your grandfather was really like into music, just like listening to not just the mainstream
Right.
of that time, but like other stuff,
Right.
like abstract music. So that kind of like inspired me a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because I never met him, you know.
Right.
And I was like, dang, like.
But you had something in common
Yeah,
with
like
him.
I
Yeah.
was like, dang, like that's great.
That's very cool. That's
Yeah.
very cool. So, okay, so you said you've been doing this since you were 10. Now, is there a difference between beat making and producing? And if so, what is it? Explain that to those who don't know.
A beat maker is someone that just put beats together. Like that's it. That's all you do.
Okay.
You don't go to the studio. You don't participate in any like media. You don't participate in the track, the lyrics, the engineering, like the marketing for it. Like as a producer, you really like curate the track.
Okay.
So like you not only produce it, but you kind of fit like, all right, what artist would go with it? What would they say on this song? Like, what would their direction be? What's my direction? How both our directions can come together. Like when I make beats, it's weird. I think about like the crowd response.
Right.
So like I'm like, all right, when this drops, when this 808 hits right here, and like I have the snare right here, like I want people to be like, you know, like bopping to it. Like
Right.
I think of stuff like that. Like I think about what the video's gonna look like.
Okay.
Like I think about like you know how on Genius they like break down their lyrics. I think about like
That,
Genius
yeah.
video, like what would they say right here? Like
Right.
I said it right here.
That's dope.
The beat was like this right here. Like I think
Right.
of stuff like that. Like
Right.
my mind is it's weird, but like I just be on some other stuff for real.
That's not weird. It's like
Yeah.
you're really
It's
looking
like
at
I
everything
think
from all
ahead, you
angles.
feel me?
Yeah.
Like, a beat maker is more so like you just make beats.
And that's it. So you're not hands-on, really.
Yeah, you're not really hands-on.
So when you produce something for an artist, does it happen that you do make the music, then give it to them? Or does it happen that sometimes the artist will come to you and you have to create something custom-made for them?
That's what a producer is. Like,
Okay.
They basically a producer. They either make the idea or they get inspired. So I've had many of artists like my bro Mikey. We were literally like walking like to the Diamond District in New York, and he was like, "Yo, I just got crazy melody in my head," and I was like, "Yo, just say it." So like I started recording it on my phone, and like I just went back to the studio, like made the beat around it, and I was like, "Yo, remember that melody you was saying, like
Yeah.
those lyrics, like." I made a beat to it, and
Right.
then, like we made the song,
That's
and
dope.
it was fire. Like just moments like that, you really can't like take away from music like that, because you know, like music at the end of the day, like there's really two sides. Like there's that like lit side where it's like mad like freestyle, you feel me, and like abstract beats, and then there's other styles. Like there's that other side where it's like really more serious, like people writing and freestyling, people actually producing tracks. Like
Right.
there's two different sides. Like
Very cool.
for real.
It's a science in its own, it sounds like.
It really is. Yeah, it really is.
Very cool, very cool. So would you say that can you only produce one genre of music? Like hip hop, or can you do everything?
I can make hip hop, pop, and R&B.
Okay.
So those three. I've made reggae beats before.
Nice.
And like rock beats.
Nice. Do you have a favorite?
Yeah, I think reggae right now.
Really?
Yeah, I think reggae is really like taking on right now.
Nice.
Yeah, and a lot of artists, especially like those like trap kind of like vocal, like singing melodic artists, they're kind of like doing those reggae tracks right now.
Right.
Too. So, and
Especially at this time, it's summer.
yeah, exactly. Summertime is really like where the reggae and pop, I feel like those two are like really like projected to do numbers.
That makes sense. Yeah. Makes sense. So how long can it take you to produce a project or a song? Does it is it a long
To produce a
process
song
or
like just the beat? What do you mean?
so? Okay, how long does it take to make a beat, and then how long does it?
Like 10 minutes.
10. That's it.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Like 10, I would say 10 to 20 minutes. Like,
Wow.
Especially if I'm in the zone, definitely 10 minutes. Like, I'm knocking them out.
Wow. And then to produce the song.
Produce the whole song, like, it really depends on the artist, for real. Like, and it depends on myself, too, like, how creative I want to get. Like, sometimes I have a creative, like, limit, and then I know my creative limitations. So, like, if I meet another artist that's, like, mad creative, it might take, like, a whole day. It might take, like, a whole hour.
That doesn't sound long, though. You say, like, a whole hour. Like, it's so long.
Normally, when I work on tracks, like, with the artist and myself, like, it will normally take, like, 30 minutes to an hour.
Okay.
To, like, actually produce the whole track. But if we want to really, like, get down and, like, work on it, like, I've worked on a track, and I've worked on one track before, and it was like 3 weeks.
Okay.
Just like waking up, fresh mind, like maybe jogging that day and then listening to it. Like maybe hit the city and then come back to it, listen to it. Like just getting like mad different ideas and like incorporating that into the track.
Right.
So it really depends on like how creative the artist is.
Okay.
But for me, like just to make the beat, like 10 minutes.
Wow, that's super fast.
Yeah.
Sure. I'm going to download a program tonight and see if I can make a beat in 10 minutes. I'm going to send it to you.
Good luck placing the snare.
And it'd be like garbage. You could tell you made this in 10 minutes.
Just know the clap in or the snare go. Like,
I don't even know what you're talking about. So.
You go next question.
So have you ever listened back to one of your beats or a song that you produced and like, what was I thinking? That was horrible.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
all right, for example, the reason why I try to bang out beats like really fast is because like it gets my creative mind going. So, like I said, I've been making beats since I was 10. So I try to make them fast.
Okay.
So that like, all right, I know every beat, this does this, and this goes here specifically, every beat. Like there's some stuff that you kind of do like second nature, and then you kind of like creatively add your stuff into it. But like to really answer your question, it's really hard to like really depict on what you can really like do with the track, like what the direction is and like everything else. So it's really hard to really actually answer that question.
Well, I mean, you did. You said that there's been times that you listen back and like, yeah, no, not so much.
Yeah, I mean,
That
like
happens.
it happens.
Yeah, I think that would happen with everybody
Yeah.
and whatever their craft is, you know?
But like, you want to make them fast. You want to make them as fast as you can because of time. Like every millionaire know, like you can't really get time back.
Right.
So like the more time you spend on something, like the more of it is like a waste, kind of.
But you don't want to rush a project either, I would imagine, right?
You definitely don't want to rush. And the reason why is because if you don't know what you're doing, then you can't rush it. You know? If you do know what you're doing, then you can rush it.
Okay.
That's the difference. And I had to really teach myself that, like, when I was younger, because I was still really learning, like, what I need to specifically do.
Right.
But once we learn those things that you kind of, like, muscle memory do, like, all the time, then, you know, like, all right, I could rush this part. Like, I could do this part, and it still sound the same.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, but I've made trash beats before. Don't. I'm not about to sit here and be like, yo, all my beats is fire. Like, nah, I've made trash beats before. I'm trying to tell you. Like, I've made some really bad beats.
Right.
But the good thing is like, you learn from those beats. Like, you listen back to it, you be like, all right, this is like trash.
Yeah, I mean, I would think that if you sat here and said that didn't happen, I'd be like, all right, guy. Like, you know what I mean?
Like,
because
like
then that would show
on
that
some
there hasn't been
arrogant
any
type
growth.
stuff.
Because you have to grow.
Nah,
You have to grow.
True.
So.
But you really want to listen. If you make beats, you have to listen to your beats. Like, That's like number one.
Okay.
Because like if you don't listen to them, then you just don't know what you're doing wrong.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. How are you gonna learn? You have to critique yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And then like making bad beats, it's like, dang, I know what not to do.
Right.
You feel
Yeah.
me? Like,
It's still learning.
Yeah, I'm not going to do that no more.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So how do you make sure that your sound is different than everything else out there? I would think that has to be kind of tough.
Number one thing is to not listen to music. It sounds so ironic, but like not listening to music is number one.
So what about if you don't listen, but you still somehow make something that sounds exactly like everything else?
Done that so many times. And that's what going back to what I said, like, when you train your ear to really listen to music and to actually listen to it and learn from it, when you get the idea of like, dang, I know what they're doing. What they did with this, like what they did with this hi-hat, what they did with this 808, what they did with this clap, what they did with this melody. Like when you actually know what they're doing, I feel like you should just stop listening.
Yeah.
Because at that point, you're just like, wow, like, I've reached this point. Now it's like, what's next?
Right.
You feel me? Because if you keep listening to music, you're like, oh, that's what they're doing.
Right.
Then you're just going to be making beats, and then they're just going to sound like too much the same.
Right. Yeah.
So definitely not listening to music. And really working with local artists.
Okay. Why local artists?
Local artists is because, like, not a lot of people heard their sound. And a lot of local artists have like different ideas that they don't meet producers like me, where they can lay down their ideas. They're just like still searching on YouTube.
Right.
You feel me? But when they meet someone that's creative on like the production side, then it kind of gets you out of your comfort zone. Like when you're out of your comfort zone, that's when you like really know like you're very creative and you have your own sound.
Right.
Like you'll know when you have your own sound is when you listen to playback and you're like, dang, I really made this beat, and like I really don't make beats like that, but it sounds totally different from what everything else I have.
Yeah.
Like that's when you know you have your own sound.
Right. No, that's very dope. Do you think that artists really understand the importance of what producer they work with?
No.
Because I think a lot of
Sadly.
times, to be honest, I think a lot of times the music is what makes or breaks the song, not necessarily the lyrics.
Nobody's not going to download no acapella like tape. You feel me?
I mean, maybe somebody out there. I don't know.
At least the people I know, like nobody's like not downloading no acapella tape. So this is a public service announcement to all artists. If you meet a dope producer, lock in with them. Treat them with respect.
Respect. Put some respect on that name.
Right. Put some respect on their name. Because y'all be on a whole nother. Artists is weird. Like, I'm just be honest. Y'all artists is weird. But you gotta, like, really lock in with a dope producer if y'all meet them. Because they could really develop a whole different sound.
Right.
Like, that you've never made before.
Right, just from working with that producer.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, I think a lot of artists should really, like, pay attention to who they work with. Because, like, one, they never know where their next opportunity comes from. Like, God works in mysterious ways.
Absolutely.
So, like, he'll show you some crazy stuff. Like, as long as you just be humble and be faithful and, like, believe.
Absolutely.
Like, you could work with a dope producer and, like, the next day he could be like, yo, bro, you realize our song is on Billboard? You'd be like, what? You start checking the charts. You're like, oh, dang. Oh, you right.
Yeah, anything can
like,
happen.
Yeah, because it's like you're working with someone totally different. But they have their own sound.
Right.
So, like, as long as you're different, you have your own sound, then, like, it'll be attractive to people.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's definitely a lot of dope artists out there that lyrically they're really good, but they might just not have
that one producer, yeah. That,
So they're overlooked, you know? And
There's
if they
a lot
just have
of-
that producer to work with, it
There's
might be a
actually,
different story.
like, it's like over half of the industry, I would say, to be honest.
Yeah.
Like, there's not really like a lot of like artist producer tandems. Like, I mean, there is, but I would say underground. There's not really like a artist and producer tandems right now. Like, I can only name like a handful of to my knowledge, because I like making like educated like answers. To my knowledge, bro, like there's not a lot of artists that really lock in with like a producer.
Right, right. So artists, that was the PSA.
PSA, definitely.
So if it was up to you, one artist, anybody that you could work with, who would it be?
I hate questions like this.
Why? You
hate
need to think
questions
about
like
this. What
this.
about if tomorrow every artist in this world is knocking at your door, but you only have time to work with one of them? Who are you going to choose? You got to think about this, man.
There's so many, like, you can't really say that. Like, there's so
You can't
many
say
people.
that. I mean, I'm not saying you won't work with anybody else,
Yeah,
but ideally.
like, I would work with Andre 3000.
Okay,
I would work with Pharrell,
okay.
Travis Scott, Lil Uzi, and The Weeknd.
Okay.
That's just like 5.
Why them out of everybody on the planet?
They have a sound.
Okay, their own sound.
Yeah, they have their own sound that like has got them mad recognition, and I respect them like in their creative levels. Like creatively wise, like Andre is like the GOAT.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to front. Like that man is creative.
Yeah,
like,
very.
Pharrell is creative.
Very.
Like The Weeknd's voice is like amazing. Like stuff like that. Like where you can really depict one thing about their like creativity. Like artists like that. Like Travis Scott has his own sound. Even though like he's compared to a lot of people, but he has his own sound, his own fan base, like his own brand. Like that's what I like about Travis.
Okay.
Like Uzi, he has his own sound, his own brand.
Right.
So like I like people like that.
No. Very cool, very cool. Well, I'm sure they're all listening. All the artists you just listed, they're
please.
listening, so they're gonna be calling you very soon. So be ready.
I got flash drives. So
You're prepared. Good. No,
I'm
as you
prepared.
should be. As you should be. I really believe that because there's artists who don't walk around with their music, and they should. You never know who you're gonna run into. So
not who you're gonna run into, but what positions you're gonna be placed in.
exactly.
Like I've been walking down New York, and I'd be like, "Yo, Asian Dog got a session tonight." I'm just like, "Dang."
Let's go.
Right?
Right.
I got my laptop.
Yeah,
Like,
I got my stuff. Let's go.
yeah,
I'm ready.
Like, let's
You
go.
don't have to be
I'm
like,
ready.
damn, I don't have time
Exactly.
to go
I gotta go back
home.
to the
And
crib,
yeah,
get my laptop,
yeah.
pack it up. Like,
Yeah.
nah.
What did they
I'm
say?
always prepared.
They say be ready so you don't have to get ready.
My mom always said poor preparation equals poor performance. So that really stuck with me. Like
That's a
when
good
I was
one.
younger.
That's a good one. I like it. Well, I want to thank you very much, Splurge, for being here
thank
today.
you.
No
Seriously.
problem. No problem.
Yeah, thank you.
I'm looking forward to see what the future has for you.
I literally just got a placement like while I was sitting over there.
Really?
Yeah, shout out to Hoodridge Gunu. Yeah.
Nice. So what's going on with that?
He's dropping Goonwick 2. Everybody stream that on all platforms. Goonwick 2. And track number 9 is Splurge. It's
Nice.
like-
Congratulations.
But the track is called 100, so, and I produced it. And
Congratulations. And that was just
literally right there.
I'm going to go in. Okay, good. See? And you were talking about alignment and,
Yeah, it's just
everything happens the way it's supposed to.
It's supposed to. It's
No,
supposed to be
keep
like
working
that.
hard, keep up the good energy, and you'll go far. So good.
Yeah.
So let everybody know if they want to work with you, how can they get a hold of you? How is there a place where they could hear some of your past work?
So, of course, like I'm on SoundCloud, like YouTube and all that. Going back to what we was discussing, really is like I've been working on my own sound, so I really haven't posted stuff since like 2013, I want to say.
Any of your music?
But yeah, I have a lot of stuff coming out actually.
Okay.
Like I've been holding on a lot of songs, and right now I feel like I'm at the plateau where I can start releasing them because I'm getting a lot of recognition.
Right.
So definitely follow me on YouTube. It's just Splurge on Garb. On Instagram, I'm always updating everything. Splurge on Garb is everywhere. Twitter, like you can find me on Tumblr, like
All that.
all that.
Tinder.
So everywhere. So if y'all want to work with me, definitely hit my email up. It's just splurge.on.guard@gmail, and I answer all my emails. So
In a timely manner, I might
too.
say.
I got a website too, splurgeonguard.com. I mean .net. So yeah, y'all can find my music there.
Cool, cool, cool. Well, thank you again. It's nice meeting you.
Nice meeting
we'll
you
look
too, for real.
for what the future has for you. So make sure you guys are watching Splurge, keeping up with him. Make sure you're keeping it locked with DTLR, and make sure you're keeping it locked with me, Robin the Heart. Like and subscribe.